being a college student is tough, okay? From the pressures of getting good grades to extracurricular activities, that could take up your time, it could be tough to focus. But it gets even harder to focus when you're sitting in an hour-long lecture and you have a professor babbling about a topic you don't care about. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the reasons why college lectures kind of suck. But before we do that, someone play that intro.
Skeleton. Open up my closet, say hello. Then I'll grab my clothes. They just strike a pose. I hit the road, hit a foreign road. 9 to 5, I'm whipping down a soul. Couldn't ask for more. What you running from? Got a skeleton.
So first of all, the reason why these lectures are already kind of bad to begin with is because they vary so differently from class to class. Like some classes, you don't got to show up because everything they're saying is coming directly from the slides. So if you had to copy those slides, you could just look at those, and that's the same thing the professor's telling you. So why would I get out my bed hungover when I can read the same slides they're about to read? That mindset right there will set you up for failure, because on the other hand, you're gonna go to some classes where you have to sit there and write notes the entire class if you want to know what's going on, because the professor is explaining what's on the slides. It's not just the written.
Well, that sucks.
In my opinion, this is one of the more effective lecture styles because it's like kind of supplementing what they're saying. So gears start to turn in your head and it makes more sense. And at the same time, these are one of my least favorite classes because what do you mean I have to put in more than the bare minimum? Like, what's that about? It's already bad enough this class isn't for my major. Then I have to try harder than my regular classes?
Who made that call?
Is that not crazy though? Like, a class that's not gonna do anything in my field, I'm so worried about.
This shit is stupid.
I don't know. I just feel like the filler classes are ass.
Donkey.
Then you got classes where the slides don't even matter and all the information you need is in the textbook. So
why am I here then?
I already don't want to read the textbook, and then you're telling me that all the information is supplementing what's in the book. The snarky remarks, like the professor will be teaching and ask a question and nobody puts their hands up and be like, oh, well, if you guys were paying attention to the textbook, you would know what's going on right now. And it's like, you think if I was reading the textbook, I'd be here right now? I'm here to figure out what's going on in this class. You over here telling me if I read the textbook, is this not your job to teach? Like, I'm trying to learn. That's why I'm here. And I'm over here getting reprimanded for it. Like, relax. I already don't know what's going on. Don't make me feel bad about it. Like, I just want to know. Then you got to deal with professors calling you out if you're not paying attention. And it's like, I'm sorry I'm a member of Gen Z. It's not my fault we have the attention span of a goldfish. Like, TikTok did this to us, not me. And it don't help that this shit is boring. And my boys in the group chat cracking serious jokes right now. And then the worst type of lecture is the ones that you have to attend because they don't post the slides. But when you go, bro got like 80 million words up on the screen and he just talking through it like it's child's play. I understand you're very educated in your field, so you know this like the back of your hand. But I don't. Okay, I'm gonna need you to slow down, my boy, just a tad. I remember this one time, right? So my professor was going over the stuff that was gonna be on the final in one of our last classes, right? And he got like a whole Harry Potter's worth of words up on the screen at once. And mind you, these slides are back to back to back to back. So, and he just casually talking like if this was a regular conversation. Bro just yapping and tapping away on the slides. And if the flash was in my class and he was trying to take these notes too, he wouldn't even be able to finish. We got to the end of class and he went over and then he still had slides to go over. So he's like speed running them at this point. And it's like, yo, my boy, this is on the final that you're about to give us. Like, this is 30% of my grade right here. And you over here talking about, oh, yeah, y'all be fine. Like, I didn't even have the slides from last time. Like, you didn't even post a study guide. So I have nothing to base this off of. And the final is next week. But you're not going to post the slides because you want people in your class, right? Nasty work. Like, I had this one professor, and boy, was he a piece of work. It's syllabus week, right? And he's talking about, oh, for his class, you guys should be taking it on paper instead of our laptop because there's a better retention. Like, I'm sorry, Fred Flintstone, this is 2023. And on top of that, my handwriting is terrible. So that's definitely not happening. This is a lecture filled with like 200 people, so they definitely call you out in front of the whole class. So I remember this one time I'm in lecture, right? And mind you, I already know this professor's he's kind of an asshole. I've seen him I've seen him F people in real time. So I'm cooling on my laptop, just sitting there, and I crack a little smile. You know what this man gonna say to me? He said,
"Man in the polo hoodie, I hope you're taking notes."
And this is the first time, so I was just like, I am, and that was it. Was I? Probably not, but that's besides the point. Well, this is a couple weeks later, right? So my laptop died, and I'm on my phone. And just for a disclaimer, I'll be honest, I probably wasn't paying attention. But there's about 200 people in this class doing the same thing, and you want me? Like, what's up? So this time I'm wearing a black hoodie. So he goes,
"Man in the black hoodie, you should be taking notes and not on your phone."
And I don't like how he just kind of just singled me out in front of the whole room. Like, I'm not going for that. So I'm like, my laptop died. I'm taking notes on my phone. You know what he gonna say to me?
He'll be like, "Oh, really? Because I see you smiling."
And I go, yeah, I'm smiling, but I got a notification. I can't smile. Like, what's going on? And then he was like,
"Oh, my apologies. I thought you were doing something you weren't supposed to."
And even if I was, mind your business and teach the class. Why are you worried about what I'm doing? Like, I'm just sitting here trying to get my education. You don't gotta call me out in front of everybody. What if I wasn't good with public embarrassment and I was just like, oh, I don't want to go back to that class in fear of being called on or picked on again? Like, that's stuff that affects people. I'm not saying it affects me, but it's just something to think about. Like that, it was mad uncalled for. But I'd be lying if I said I felt like he was just targeting me, because that wasn't the case. He wanted to smoke with anybody. Like, it didn't matter who you were. Okay, hold on. This is kind of a sidebar right here. Like, people come to class to learn, right? And this professor in particular, he'll kind of pressure you into participating. And I get that engagement, but like, he kind of like sneak diss you if you got it wrong. So like, nobody wanted to put their hand up and answer his questions, because like, he was kind of naff. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I remember this one dude in particular, and he got it bad. But I can't lie though, he did do some dumb shit. So it was both their faults. So the professor asked a question. I can't remember exactly what he was talking about, but I know that the answer had to be a city, right? So nobody wants to answer. So then the professor, he calls on this one guy, and the professor says, I feel like you're gonna know this because it's from your home state, right? So then the dude says Atlanta. And to me, I'm an onlooker. I had no clue what the answer was, so his guess was as good as mine. And then the professor's like, nope, from your home state. And then he's like, Hartford? At this point, I'm like, okay, makes sense. I mean, and then the professor's like, oh no, not that one either. So either he thought he was talking about his home state as in like where he's from. And then the second time, he was talking about like where our school was from, right? But then the professor says, aren't you from Mass? And he's like, yeah. So he really just embarrassed himself for no reason, because why did he say Atlanta? I was so confused about that, because he's not from Georgia. And the professor clearly knew where he was from. I don't know how, but moral of that story is don't be dumb, because there's a chance you might get embarrassed for it. I feel like this video wouldn't be fair if I didn't give some solutions to these problems. So one of them is you got to check these professors' temperatures, okay? Because I get it, you're an expert in your field, but all of us in this room are not. I can't speak for everybody, but me personally, I know you're invested in this field. You know, you've dedicated years to mastery of this, and I can respect that. But I'm not. I'm just here to get this grade and I'm out of here. Don't patronize me. It doesn't have to be all notes and sit here and listen to what I say. Like what happened to Kahoots? Those used to be fun, right? Stay in class, you know the answers, you be on top of the leaderboard. That was cool. Like, for me, Kahoot Fridays, or like you section out of time so that you understanding that we're retaining this stuff. because a lot of time you're talking at us, not to us. I just think that if you could make the lectures more interactive or like more appealing, there would be a better retention rate among students. The classes that like you could tell the professor really wants to give you a good experience, those are the ones I've had the most fun in. Those are the ones I've put the most effort into because they allow you to be creative. I think the classes that the professors try very hard to make them interesting are the classes that stuck with me the most because I was engaged in what was going on, and like knowledge is power. So I want to learn, spice it up. But that's all I got for today. It's OD, and I'm signing out. Peace.